Hi, I'm Sadie McClendon, and I'm a sixth grader at Peachtree Middle School. In my free time, I do ballet, listen to music, especially Taylor Swift, and I love the color purple. Some people are surprised to hear that I'm part of Scouting America instead of Girl Scouts. I was a Girl Scouts in early elementary, but COVID-19 ended my brownie troop. Today, I'll share you some lessons I've learned in my short time with Troop 1919, where I've seen God's love show up in sitting around the campfire with my friends, laughing about that day's activity. The Scout law says a Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. All of those traits are what Jesus is and wants us to reflect. Another thing God wants us to cultivate is the fruits of the Spirit. The fruits of the Spirit can help us through life as a teen and scout. In Galatians chapter 5, verse 22, Paul defines the fruit of the Spirit as love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Against such things there is no law. I became a Cub Scout. I joined Cub Scouts with my younger brother while I was a bear while he became a lion. My parents were very excited for me to join Cub Scouts because it was something we could do as a family. Plus, my dad is Eagle Scout. When I came to the first meeting, I was so surprised to see so many girls that were part of the pack. These girls are now like family and have taught me a lot. We encourage each other and motivate each other to get to the next requirement or rank. While I've only been part of 1919 for a year, it feels like I've been part of the troop for so much longer. I have learned so much about myself and God during this short time. When you think of Scouts, what do you think about? You probably think about the outdoors or camping, but Scouts is so much more. To me, Scouts is about community. Sure, we get requirements checked off, but it's who you get them checked off with. Whenever I go on trips, I always forget to get requirements checked off because I'm having too much fun with these girls. Although we attend different schools and some are in different grades, the girls in my troop are like my sisters. Proverbs chapter 27, verse 17 says, "As iron sharpens iron, so as a friend sharpens a friend." I would not be where I am today without these girls. Scouting also offers the opportunity to visit places and do things I would have never done without Scouts. It has also encouraged me to become more independent. At the end of last summer, we went to Pensacola, Florida. We visited the Aviation Museum and USS Alabama, and we camped on the beach. It was probably my favorite trip. I loved it when we had lunch, not just because the lunch tasted good, but because I felt so powerful paying for it on my own since my parents weren't there with me. Scouting has given me so much independence, requiring me to plan my own meals and for the weekend and pack my own gear. Another great trip was Providence Canyon. The temperature was perfect, and I had a bunch of fun exploring the canyon. I had been to Providence Canyon before while I was at Chestnut Elementary, but I was able to explore way more with our troop. The boys' troop 477 was with us as well. After a while, we split into two groups, the short way back to the campsite or the scenic route. I'm pretty sure all of 1919 chose the scenic route, which was a route that I was not able to go on my last trip to Providence Canyon. Close to the end, we found a playground and we played on it, which was pretty fun. We were all filled with the joyful energy of being outside in God's creation. Do you know how Providence Canyon was formed? We learned that the farmers did not take care of the land, and as a result, the canyon formed from poor agricultural practices. In Genesis, God trusted Noah with the animals, and Noah was God's steward. God calls us to take care of our world. Providence Canyon was formed because farmers forgot to take care of God's creation. This January, we went to Okefenokee. There we canoed to Billy's Island. On the trip, we experienced our first ever issue on a campout. When we go on campouts, we plan our own meals and divide up the food amongst our patrol. Sadly, my best friend got sick and couldn't make it. She was supposed to bring the butter and tortillas, so I brought them instead. I messaged my patrol, the Fiery Phoenixes, and we ended up having extra of each because Clara brought tortillas and Cece brought butter. Extra tortillas are not always bad, but it was definitely a learning experience. Scouting has also encouraged me to try things I would have never tried on my own. For our most recent trip, we went on a day trip to go snow tubing. There, we discovered that we could ride all the other rides they had to offer. This was like Lemonade Days, but better. This was because hardly anybody was there, so there was no reason we couldn't go on any of the, in my opinion, the scary rides. I'm talking about the large ship that goes sideways and alien abduction. If you go to Lemonade Days every year, you probably know what I'm talking about. And if you know me, I'm scared of everything. Through all of this, I've learned so much about myself, others, and I've learned when to rely on God when times get hard. I've learned to ask for strength, God's strength in difficult situations. While I'm only 11, I have ways to go until I earn my Eagle Scout. Until then, I will need lots of patience, strength, faithfulness to make it through to that day. I'm thankful I have these girls who will help me push through and make it to the next rank. In closing, I would like to say none of this would have been done possible without our leaders, volunteers, our families, and this church. Thank you.